I want to talk specifically for just a moment about Elizabeth Warren's health care plan, her killer, I called it her killer tax and health care plan. And I actually kind of mean killer. To start with, she proposed Medicare for all. She put out a plan, literally meaning everybody would have to get their health care from the government. You could also call this socialized medicine. That was her original idea. People started to point out, you really can't afford to pay for this. It's really, really, really expensive. You cannot afford to pay for it. And that's when she got into, well, we're going to have a wealth tax. We're just going to take away the money from the wealthy people. That'll solve it. We'll have a big old wealth tax. That's what her ad is about, the wealth tax. But again, as in gravity is always a rule, many rules of economics are always a rule. There's a finite amount of money available. And I want to just explain something that Elizabeth Warren isn't going to tell you. If the American government seized all of the wealth of all of the billionaires, B as in boy billionaires, on the entire planet Earth, that money could not pay for more than 3 years of Medicare for all in America. You have to grasp this. There just isn't this money existing in some utopian cloud somewhere that's waiting to be seized and brought into the federal treasury and spent on Medicare for all. It isn't there. So because Elizabeth Warren, was criticized so much, she said, well, okay, I'm going to go with the option of Medicare option for all, meaning anyone can choose to stay in private health care, pursue private insurance or private care, or they can choose government-funded, which is taxpayer-funded, Medicare for all. So she said, I'll make an option for them. Two things about that. Number one, what she actually said was she would go with a Medicare option for all only for the first 2 years of her presidency. And then the second 2 years, she was going to get rid of this, option business and just force Medicare for all on everyone. Second point, she never is able or willing to address the reality that there isn't enough money to do this. And this is the danger of someone like Elizabeth Warren, because she sounds intelligent. She sounds reasonable. She puts out, I have a plan for that, plan for that, I have a plan for everything. And she is not dealing with reality. She truly is not dealing with reality. Other impact we'll have to get to another day, because I want to hit one quick story and then it's really time to wrap up. But she also never acknowledges that in order to get to Medicare for all, there is inevitably, without any question, going to be rationing. There isn't enough money to pay for Medicare for all. This is why the National Healthcare Service in England, the famous socialized medicine, that we supposedly think is so great. I don't think it's great, but the Democrats are always bragging about the British system. The British system, one of the major trust funds participating in the British healthcare system, announced about 3 or 4 weeks ago that they are no longer going to provide service for anyone who engages in racial or sexual discrimination, gestures, use of words. They are basically saying, we're going to size you up, and if you don't fit the left-wing worldview, and if you say something we don't like, or you say something we determine is offensive or sexist or racist, we're not going to provide you care. Now, you could say, well, that never happened in America. What will happen in America, if we actually get subjected to what Elizabeth Warren wants to do, there will be, in one way or another, rationing, because there isn't enough money. You will start to hear about a child not worthy of care because they have too much of a disability when they're born, a senior citizen not eligible for care because, after all, he or she is already X number of years old. We got to save our money in the system for the young people, so we can't be spending money on these old people. You will have rationing one way or another because there just isn't enough.